I once had a boss called Vikram, and he had a total mindset of abundance. It was incredible. Everything he seemed to do seemed to turn out brilliantly. It was as if he was attracting abundance into his life. Every day was a good day. Every day something positive would happen. Every time he met with a problem, he saw opportunities. It was incredible, and he was absolutely relentless. And one day I got to the office very, very early because I had an 8 o'clock meeting with a client and I just wanted to do some prep. So I got into the office about 7 in the morning, which was very rare that anyone would get there that early. And I found that Vikram was already in the office, and he was sitting in a chair with these headphones on, and he had this big smile on his face and his eyes were wide open, and he didn't budge an inch as I came in through the door. He didn't say hello or anything. He was just staring into the distance, and it was very strange because I don't think he actually noticed I came in. So eventually I sort of went over to him and waved. I said, "Hi, Vikram," and he snapped out of what seemed to be a bit of a trance, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Elizabeth." He took off his headphones. "So sorry, I didn't hear you come in. I was listening to Affirmations, and I had tuned my brain into a theta state." And I said, "Wow, that's fantastic. You were listening to Affirmations." He said, "Here, why don't you have a listen?" So I put on his headphones. It was still playing, and I heard these affirmations coming. I am rich in abundance. Everything seems to work out just perfectly. But there was this hum in the background, and I said, "Oh, I get that you're listening to Affirmations, but what's that hum in the background?" And he said, "That's binaural beats. Binaural beats make your brain relax more quickly than if you're just listening to affirmations." And he said, "It's very important that your brain is properly relaxed when you listen to affirmations, because if your conscious is too alert, it will tend to resist those affirmations if they're not currently true in your life." I said, "Well, that's very interesting." So he was listening to affirmations with binaural beats in the background to reprogram his subconscious to make himself more abundant. And I thought this was really fascinating. And it was one of those stories that really motivated me to get into the whole theme of trying to train the subconscious to think more abundantly. So Vikram taught me a lot of things. And one of the things he did as an abundant thinker was he tended to cherry pick. Now, if you have an abundant mindset, you always pick out the best of people and the best of situations. You always see the bright side of the coin. And it was very interesting because quite often we would have suppliers come and work for the company, do a project or something alongside with us. And very often we would get these incompetent people who really didn't seem to follow up, really were not committed to deadlines. And I felt really let us down when we'd given them a project to do and were paying them money. And I said to Vikram, "Why don't you just fire these suppliers when they keep letting us down like this and missing their deadlines?" And Vikram said, "No, Elizabeth, you have to cherry pick because these people can add value. You just have to approach the situation with an abundant mindset. And if you approach the situation with an abundant mindset, well, that means that you will see the best in what they're doing. You will see the value in what they are adding, and you will forget about the stuff that they're screwing up. If you fire them, it's a bit like throwing the baby out with the bathwater." Now, anytime I really want to apply myself and think abundantly, I listen to an audio recording that I have made to attract more abundance into my life. And that same audio recording has binaural beats in the background, just like Vikram used to use, so that my brain is much more relaxed as I'm taking in those affirmations, and they're much more likely to reach my subconscious. And I've got a website, thelawofattractionlady.com, that you can access that same audio recording that I listen to from time to time, and you can download it for free. So go and visit my website, thelawofattractionlady.com, and find yourself an audio recording for free to attract more abundance into your life.